Defend yourself against DDoS attacks by hiding your true IP address with ExpressVPN, and visit my custom link expressvpn.com/ghilliemaster in the description to find out how you can get an extra 3 months free. Hey everyone, and welcome to another gtaonline in-depth guide here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new car wash or money laundering business from the Money Fronts DLC, going over some stats, strategies, and overall just answering the question, is it really worth investing in and grinding this business to make money? So the money laundering business comes in 3 separate purchases: the car wash, the Higgins heli tours, and smoke on the water. The main one that you want is going to be the car wash though. The other 2 are honestly pretty bad in my opinion, but we'll get into why that is later in the video. The income you earn from this business is divided into 2 parts, the passive side and the active money laundering side. And there's also a heat meter system where as you do more illegal work, eventually it's going to stop producing income because the heat is too high and you'll have to do a legitimate mission to reset the heat bar. But let's start off by talking about the safe income. The safe income is entirely passive, and the amount that you earn per in-game day or every 48 minutes is dependent on how many other businesses or properties you own. The max safe income that you can get is $32,250 per day, and that can be earned by owning every possible business in the game and upgrading the passive income of the other 3 new businesses. And you do that by completing 15 laundry missions at each of the businesses, or by completing 15 Mr. Favor missions overall. The Mr. Favor missions specifically I'll talk about in another video because those are more like contact missions, but this video will just be covering the free mode part of the new business. The unfortunate part is that the maximum amount of money that you can have in your safe is only $100,000, so if you're running the business maxed out at that $32,000 cap, then you'll only get about 3 full days of income from the safe before having to go to the business to claim the money. So I kind of wish it at least had $150,000 of maximum capacity before you had to go and collect it. The other thing that sucks about the safe income is that you need to own a small and medium warehouse to get the maximum daily income. A lot of us own 5 large warehouses, so we kind of get shafted here, which I think is kind of stupid. If anything, this should just change to just owning 3 warehouses in general. Why do we get penalized for owning the more expensive warehouses to begin with, as opposed to 1 large, 1 medium, and 1 small? But that is the passive income side of the business, just earning daily money dependent on your other businesses that you have up and running. And yes, that means they cannot be shut down. They actually have to be up and running, but it doesn't mean they have to be stocked full of supplies. And we'll discuss later how the heat mechanic plays into all of this. Now let's head over to the active side, the money laundering side of the business. Each money laundering mission will pay $35,000. Right now, it might seem like it's paying way more than that, especially if you have GTA Plus. That's because it currently has a 4 times money boost on it for GTA Plus members. And with the current event week, it's paying double money for everyone. So you'll either be making $140,000 per mission if you have GTA Plus or $70,000 per mission if you don't. But the normal base pay is $35,000. And you don't get this money directly after the mission is over, like other free mode events or free mode missions. You have to wait for it to be laundered, and then it will appear in the bag in the car wash property for you to go and collect. The time it takes to launder the money is dependent on how many of the new businesses that you own. If you own all 3, then it will only take 8 minutes to get your money. If you only own 1 other business aside from the car wash, then it's 9. And if you only own the car wash, then it's going to be 10 minutes. The max capacity of the bag in the car wash is $1 million, which you will likely never hit outside of the 4 times money bonus with GTA Plus right now, so you probably won't ever have to worry about that. The laundry missions also have no cooldown, which is very nice, so you can start them over and over again. And they can also be requested from just calling ref on your phone, so you don't have to go back to the business over and over again either. And yet another positive is that you do not have to be registered as a CEO or MC president to partake in this business. However, the one downside is that each laundry mission you do will increase your heat level, so you can't just spam them infinitely. So how does this heat mechanic work exactly? Each individual business, the heli tours, the car wash, and smoke on the water, have individual heat levels. They are not shared across one another, and each laundry mission you do will increase the heat by 5% at the start of a mission, and another 5% at mission completion time. So if you complete a mission, that is 10% heat added to that specific business, which means you can only do a maximum of 10 laundry missions before having to reset the heat. Doing a Mr. Favor mission will also give 10% heat to whichever business you started the mission from. And finally, heat will increase passively every 48 minutes also. And the amount that the heat increases is dependent by how many businesses that you own. If you own just the car wash, it's 10% per in-game day. If you own 2, it's 9%. And if you own all 3, it's 8% heat every in-game day. But there is a catch here because if any of the 3 businesses are capped on heat, then that 1% bonus goes away. So if you own all 3 businesses, for example, but the heli tours and smoke on the water are maxed out on heat, then it's still going to go up 10% per day. When you are maxed out on heat at the heli tours or smoke on the water, you will only lose that passive income that you get from those two businesses, so it's not that big of a deal. You'll just lose a couple $1,000s. However, if you reach maximum heat at the car wash, you will lose all 30,000 passive income per day until you clear that heat. So it will just stop producing income entirely until the heat's gone. And to clear the heat, you just simply complete a legitimate mission for the business. For the car wash, it's just driving to get someone's car and washing it and returning it. The heli tours is just a heli tour, who would have guessed. And for the weed business, it's post-stop delivery 2.0. You only have to do one legitimate mission though to completely clear your entire heat level back to 0. And then you can just start grinding the actual money-making missions again. And so that's kind of the gameplay cycle. You do a bunch of the laundry missions, make some money there, and then when the heat level's full, you do a legit mission, get paid hardly anything for those. Those pay like $1,000, but they clear the heat level so you can then do the missions that actually make you money again. Lastly, let's go over some bonuses that you get just for owning the new businesses. If you get the car wash, you get a permanent 35% increase to your counterfeit cash MC cell missions. If you own smoke on the water, you get a 35% boost to your weed MC cell missions. And the heli tours business gives you a permanent 10% boost to your hangar cargo cell missions. So some pretty good bonuses if you do use those specific businesses. Now those are all the statistics for the new business, and the reason that I wanted to wait a bit before making a guide is because I need time to really grind out the business to get a feel for if it's really worth it in the end, and to come up with some good strategies I can give to you guys as well. And ultimately what I found out was that the heli tours and smoke on the water are pretty much useless. If you don't grind MC businesses anymore to take advantage of that 35% boost to your weed sales, then there is very little value given to you for owning smoke on the water aside from the small amount of passive income it gives to your main car wash daily income. The money laundry missions for the weed business are okay, but still not as good as the main car wash. The legit mission to clear heat for the weed business is absolutely atrocious. You drive around in this slow van and deliver weed. It triggers heavy PTSD from the post-op van missions that were just removed. So as far as I'm concerned, smoke on the water definitely gets the nickname shit in the toilet for me. It's just really not worth it. I guess one thing I could mention is that it also gives you access to a daily collectible, which I mean, no one is going to really waste time doing this after they get the first set for the achievement anyways. The heli tours business, you could argue, has a bit more value to it. Just being able to spawn your personal helicopters here is a really nice bonus alone. Hangar cargo is also much better than any MC cell mission too, especially the weed business. And the heli tours mission to clear heat is not nearly as bad as the weed delivery, despite it being basically a helicopter MC cell mission where you are going to different yellow areas in the helicopter. I still likely wouldn't grind out the heli tours business though. The main area of grinding you're going to be doing with this business is from the main car wash itself. I think this place has the best laundry missions that take the shortest amount of time, except for one. If you get the mission where Raph mentions a stockade, just hit that pause button really quick and find a new session and just eat that 5% heat loss. That mission takes forever. Most importantly though, the heat clear mission is not that bad for the car wash. Getting the Vinewood Hills location does kind of suck, but it's by far the least likely one to put you to sleep, because at least you get to drive some of the new cars, or if you get lucky, you drive some fast cars too. It's a bit like doing import-export if it only gave you the easy missions for import-export. And yeah, having to sit through the 30-second car wash animation does suck, but sometimes you can completely skip the car wash animation like I somehow did here. And I think there could be a way to potentially replicate this for speedrunning purposes, but I haven't figured out the secret sauce yet to get that to work consistently. Honestly though, after the event ends and it ends up only paying $35,000 per money laundry mission, I just can't see myself doing these missions ever. My heat will probably just end up maxing out and the business will fade into nothingness as I completely forget it's there after losing my passive income. I kind of wish they got a little more complex with the heat mechanic, like letting us pay the police off to reset our heat instead of having to do a legit mission. Or even better, if we completed the Cluckenbell raid for Vincent before, we could call him and have him slash our heat down every now and then as a favor for helping him out because he's with the police. You know, just giving the players a bonus for completing content in the past for older characters. Or maybe just get rid of the heat cap altogether and turn it into a risk management mechanic, to where you will earn increasingly more money the more activities you do, but as the heat gets higher and higher, you risk getting raided and have to either fight off the police, or you end up losing the money that you built up. So it's kind of a risk versus reward mechanic. Do you try to continue doing business while your heat's really high, but that's when you're earning the most amount of money? Or do you decrease your heat, lowering the risk, but start making less again until you get back up there in the high heat levels? Those are just some suggestions anyways, and that's also where a raid mechanic would make sense, as opposed to just being randomly raided in our current businesses now for nothing. Let me know what you guys think of the new money laundering business down in the comments, and do you think it's something that you will grind long term or not? If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like, as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA Online content. I also want to give a huge shout out to all of my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.